everybody, it's Kira and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 books well, 5 series really, that I hope will someday get an adaptation of. So yeah, this week we're just talking about adaptations. So because of the very exciting Percy Jackson news coming to Disney Plus, which I will link my video where I discuss with my brothers just all of our thoughts on that down below. But there's Percy Jackson news, the selections going to Netflix, the recent success of To All the Boys. I feel like there was another YA book that was really exciting that I'm blanking on it right now. The other one I thought of the other adaptation is the Shadow and Bone series that's coming to Netflix, which I am so excited for. And of course, like the success of Hunger Games and Harry Potter, there's a lot of things that can be done with young adult adaptations. So I'm going to talk about 5 series today that I hope will become adapted. I have like different hopes for each of the series. So let's get into it. So the first series I'm going to talk about is the Gallagher Girls series by Ali Carter. And I want this to be made into a television show. I think the way that these books are structured just lends itself very easily to a television show. Like length of time, it could be really difficult, especially in the later books when we're dealing with a lot more of the darker storyline and plotline. I think it would be a little bit harder to get all of that into like a 2-hour movie. I think honestly you could make at least the first 2 books into 1 season, and then like you could do like 3 seasons and have like 2, 2, and 2, because there's 6 books in the series. So if you don't know what this series is about, I guess I should explain. This is about a girls' school for spies. It's a secret school for spies. And you follow our main character, Cami Morgan, as she goes. The books start off when she's starting sophomore year, so she's 15. And so the first book is her having a secret romance with a normal boy named Josh. And so that's like the big dangerous thing that happens, is she like sneaks out to like have a pretend, well, it's not a pretend romance, but she pretends to be a normal girl so she can be in a relationship with this boy. And then the second book, you meet this school for boys spies named Blackthorn. So the Blackthorn boys come in and you meet Zach, and it's all really good. So like the first 2 books, like the focus is more on like the romantic aspect, but then like book 3 is when the danger really starts to hit, and so then like books 3 through 6, like there's so many things happening because you get the main bad guys, which is called the Circle of Caven. That's who they figure out is after one of the girls, and Cami gets mixed up in it all. And so I think like if you put in hints about the Circle of Caven in the first season with the first 2 books, it would make a little bit more sense if you grouped like the books by 2 and put 2 books per season. And I just think it would like make a fantastic TV show. Cami's group of friends is so fun. I would love seeing them as a live like television show. Also like anything spy related is automatically amazing, and so like getting to see them at spy school would be just super fun to follow their journey, as well as like figure out like as the things happen throughout the books. And so yeah, I just think the Gallagher Girls series would make an amazing TV show. Next up we have The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Now this like did get optioned for a TV show, / there is possibly still a TV show happening for the series, so it like is possible that this will become a thing. But I would love to see The Raven Boys be a TV show. I think it would do really well as like a teen drama show kind of thing, but like the books are so atmospheric that it would be really important to get that atmosphere like done correctly in the show. And just like the whole like mystery / like magicalness within these books would like lend itself really well to like a crossover audience of like the fantasy and the teen drama, because there is like teen drama-y things that happen, especially within like the Gang Z as a whole. But I think like it would be like so fun to see that friendship group. That's something I've realized that I love in books, is a good friendship group. And so like the Gang Z is just like an amazing friendship group, and it would be so much fun to see Blue like kind of like come into that group and see her like journey from thinking that these boys are like the worst human beings possible because they're from the school whose name I'm not even going to try and pronounce because I'm going to say it wrong. And then like her like become accepted and become part of it, and like the whole thing with the psychics, and seeing 300 Fox Way would be so much fun. Like I just think the Raven Boys would be such a fun TV show, and I really hope and pray that like there is work that is going to happen on this TV show. Like I said, it did get optioned for a show at one point in time, but I don't know if anything has happened since then. It's probably, I think it's been a few years. But yeah, I would absolutely love to see the Raven Boys be adapted for a television show. Next up we have Nixia by Scott Rankin, and I think this series would make an amazing trilogy of movies. I love this series so much. There's 3 books, and it's a little bit like, it's like a competition, but it takes place in space. It's a little bit like Ender's Game and a little bit like Hunger Games. So a lot of games going on. But this is a sci-fi book about a boy named Emmett, and he is given the chance to be able to go to this new planet called Eden. And so what he doesn't realize when he's signing up is that there's 10 teenagers that sign up to go, but only 8 of them, I think, get to go down to Eden. And so they have a bunch of competitions within the group of 10 teenagers to compete for those 8 spots. Maybe it's 12. I haven't read this book in a year, so I don't remember exactly how many. There's a lot of like competitions similar to Ender's Game in that like it's also training them to like be ready for anything that they're gonna face down on Eden, and like training them to be stronger and stuff. And like it's just so good. Again, the friendships within this book are so fun, and like once you hit the later books you actually go down to Eden, and so it'd be really cool to like see that as like visually as a really cool thing. And also like all the simulation stuff that they have to do, like all the training stuff that they do in this book is so cool, and it would be amazing to like be able to see it on screen. And I think like it would work well in a movie format. Like there is a lot that happens, but there are so many twists and turns within this book and within the whole trilogy. There's so many plot twists that you don't see coming. And so like it would be really fun to have it as a movie where there's lots of twists and things that you didn't see coming. And also like this is such an underrated series and it deserves more hype, and so giving it a movie would be like amazing. Next up, I have the Starbound Trilogy by Amy Coffin and Megan Spooner. I'm just going to hold up the first one, which is These Broken Stars. I haven't decided if I want this to be a movie or a TV show. I think movie would work okay with these books. They follow 3 different sets of 2 main characters throughout the 3 books, so it would be a little difficult to have it as a movie, so that's why like maybe TV show would work better for this. I'm just not quite sure how stuff would happen. Also like there is like, even though these are like smaller books, there is quite a lot that happens within them, and like it takes time for each of them to progress. So that's, a TV show would like let them have that time to like be able to expand on all the things. I'm not really sure, but I would love to see this series adapted in some form or another. It's a really fun sci-fi trilogy about, really it's about this corporation that these people end up trying to take down. But the first book follows Lilac and Tarver, and Lilac is like this princessy girly type girl who's like very high in society, and then Tarver is the soldier. And they both get stranded on this deserted planet together, and they have to figure out how to survive. But then book 2 follows 2 new characters, and book 3 follows 2 new characters, but then it also has everybody come together. So it's really fun when you like see those connections between each other. And I mean, it's similar to the Luminate Files in that like you're following multiple sets of people. So I don't think that there's been a like movie series or TV show that does that kind of thing. So it would definitely be different, and it would be a little bit harder to like keep new viewers' attentions if you haven't read the books before, in that like you're going to introduce new characters and like almost disregard the other characters for a while until you see like how it all comes together. So again, I'm not like 100% sure which kind of adaptation I would want for this series, but it's just so cool, and there's a lot of like really interesting sci-fi elements, especially with like, I don't want to spoil it, so like we'll just say it's sci-fi, and it's also really cool, like you see different planets and things too, so it would just be like a really neat series to see. And then last up, I actually just mentioned it, but that is the Luminate Files by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Okay, so for this series, I have something very different in mind, and I would love to see it be a transmedia series, or like a multimedia series if you want to call it that. So transmedia is just like telling a story over multiple mediums. So like a lot of Star Wars and Star Trek franchises do this, because you have like books and video games and movies that are like kind of part of the larger world as a whole, but still like telling in a lot of ways the same story. So I think it would be really cool to do that with the Luminate Files. Also, something similar that was done a few years ago was the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, which is a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice. And so that includes like transmedia elements, because each of the characters had like a Twitter profile that you could go to. It also had like Facebook accounts, and like you could interact with the characters or with the cast or with the like creative people behind it. So like Lizzie did a couple Q&A videos where she like legit answered questions. I know Lydia did at least one or two of those as well. So like it wouldn't be like the exact same with Illuminate, but I think like with the way that Illuminate is told through files and things, if you don't know, this is a sci-fi series, and it's got like stuff like this within the book. So I think it would do really well as a multimedia, like transmedia element adaptation thing. I'm not entirely sure how it would work, but you could do like, I don't know if like a TV show would, I think a TV show would work best for like telling like the main story. And so like at least for Illuminate, you would follow like Ezra and Katie through the TV show, but then you could have like, I don't know, a website that was posting things, or you could have the Illuminate group like posting certain things, and like the trial that happens at the very beginning of this one going on, and like all of the different chats that happen. Like you could follow Katie and Ezra's chats or something. I don't really know how it would work. But like I was thinking for Gemini, you know, there's the Lollipop song that's the ends up being a virus. So like that would be really fun, because I know in the audiobook version they do have like kind of a version of the Lollipop song that they play during the audiobook when that's like going on in Gemini. And so like that would, I don't know, making like a full version of the Lollipop song and like releasing it or something. Yeah, I don't really know how and what it would all entail, but I think like a transmedia adaptation of the Illuminate Files would be really cool, and it would pay homage to like the way that this is written too, because it's not written as a standard book, so it shouldn't be done as like a standard just like movie or TV adaptation. Like it should be something different, and I think like if you like put in a lot of thought and time into it, you could make it really cool. And so like I think it would just be so amazing. Also like this storyline of Illuminate is like really interesting, and seeing Ezra and Katie's relationship change, but then also like the other stuff that happens in this book, because there's a ton of crap that they go through, and that like crazy sci-fi stuff that happens in this book. It would just be so cool to like see that as an adaptation, but also have like those added elements of like a different website, or like other videos, like a video blog or something, or yeah, I don't really know exactly what, like Katie's diary maybe as like a blog online. I don't really know, but yeah, just Illuminate as transmedia adaptation would be amazing. So yeah, that's it. Those are 5 series that I hope will be adapted at some point in time or another. Comment down below, let me know what series you hope will be adapted. Do my ideas sound interesting? I don't know if I pitched them that well, but that's kind of where my thoughts are at. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to follow me on social media, all my links will be in the description as always. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!